Hey guys, welcome to Planning with Crystal. So I am super excited. My Archer and Olive subscription box for March 2021 has just arrived here in the UK. I'm going to unbox it with you. We're going to have a look at everything inside and have a bit of a play around with it. So if you are new to Archer and Olive and you have no idea what I'm talking about, they do the most incredible bullet journals or dot grid journals or whatever you want to call them. They also do incredible pens and honestly, so many amazing things. I recently discovered them because one of you guys gave me the heads up. Thank you for that. And I've even gone and ordered lots of stuff from their new spring collection. I've also become an affiliate for them, so I bought this box myself, but I do have a discount code, which is Crystal10, which will get you 10% off your purchase. And there is also a link under the video as well. You won't get the discount on this because this is already heavily discounted. So this is the March box. It costs $70, but the value on the box, it's worth over $175. Now, it's an American company. If you are in the UK, they will ship it. It costs $25 shipping, but that includes all taxes, customs, etc. So you know for a fact, $95 all in, but you won't be getting charged anything additional. So I loved that about it. So this box is so heavy. When the delivery lady delivered it today, even she commented on what on earth is in this box. It's so heavy. There are lots and lots of amazing goodies in here, so I cannot wait to show them all to you. So this month's box, it's a quarterly box, so the next one will be out around about June time. And this is the Journey box. So it's my very first box from them. Not my very first products, because once I found out about this, I've gone out and bought some other products, which I'll show you as we go along. But first of all, we have got a little tote bag. So it's like a standard sized tote bag. It's got this gorgeous pattern on. So it's got like little leaves and stars and all kinds of things. It says Archer and Olive down here. This is like a faux leather stitched on patch. It's obviously white, which is a bit of a scary colour to keep clean. And it's just plain on the back with two handles at the top. One thing I really like, it has got quite a deep pocket here, which unzips, so you could put money, keys, phone, whatever essentials you might want to in there. And it even has a little elasticated section where you can put 5 pens in there as well. So this is a limited edition, especially for the subscription box. You can't buy it independently, and this is said to be worth $30. It's obviously a great bag for putting your planner in or your bullet journal and your pens and taking things out with you. Then there are so many goodies in here, so I'm just going to start pulling things out and we'll have a look at them. Now, first of all are these two things. Now, depending on whether you stamp, you may or may not know what these are for, but these are acrylic stamping blocks. So what you do is you have acrylic stamps, you peel off the sticky bits, and I'm not going to do it right now because I think they are a bit of a challenge to get off. I think the tip with these is to soak them in water and then this will peel off, but essentially they are see-through. Here's one I've already got just to kind of give you a clue of what they're like. They're see-through so that you can put your stamps on here and you can see exactly where you are positioning them when you're putting them on your page. So that is a super useful feature of these sorts of things. And why have they included stamp blocks in a subscription box that's all about like bullet journals and stuff? Well, quite simply, it's because they've just launched some stamps. So these are the acrylic stamps, and this is a special collection just for the subscription box, I believe. So we've got all the days of the week. We've got this lovely hot air balloon, kind of goes with that Journeys theme. We've got, again, more days of the week, all kinds of different bits and pieces here. So excited to make use of this, and I will do a little bit of stamping for you in just a minute so you can kind of see how it all looks in practice. We've also got some stickers, 2 lots of them. So each set of stickers has got 2 sheets in the same. So these have got this lovely kind of gold foiling on. They've got all of the days of a month and the days of the week and some flags and some other little quotes and things. So they're super useful. These ones are a bit more kind of decorative. Again, we've got 2 sheets of these. So these are gorgeous, they're foiled, and I just really love the design. And of course it all links together with that Journey theme. So the 2 packs of stickers together, so 2 lots of 2 sheets, are worth a combined total of $17. The stamp set's worth $15, although I'm sure the new stamp sets that they've launched on the website are $25. So I would suspect this is probably worth more than they've said, looking at the pricing of them regularly. 2 acrylic stamp blocks are worth a combined total of $13. And then also to go on the theme with the stamps and stuff, they've even included 2 little stamp blocks in gold and black. So that's great because it means we can just get stamping straight away. I love that about it. There's everything here so you can literally get started today if that's what you want to do. So there's not 1, not 2, but 3 of the books in here, all different. We'll look at those in a second. They always tend to include some acrylograph pens in this box. Now I have to say I love acrylograph pens. I am new to Archer and Olive and I have already purchased 3 of the pen sets because they are fantastic and I have been loving them. So we're going to test out all the pens so I can show you the colours and stuff. So essentially we get 5 in here. Now usually they will say that the pens are exclusive to the subscription box, which they are, but I think a lot of them have actually shown up in some of the new spring collections they've just launched. But essentially we get 5 of the acrylograph pens, and like I said, I am going to swatch them all for you in just a minute. So you can buy pens individually, although the new collection pens aren't available individually just yet. They come in 2 thicknesses. They come in a 3mm, which is like a felt tip type thing, and these are more like a fine liner in the 0.7mm size. I prefer the 0.7mm just because it's better for like writing and stuff and for finer detail, whereas the 3mm are better for like covering big areas, colouring in, that kind of thing. So I'm super excited to have some more pens, particularly excited for the pink and for the purple because they're my 2 kind of favourite colours, and also this gold one looks rather exciting too. I love as well the detail, they have the little ampersands there on the top. So yep, a little pack of 5 in there. So there's literally everything in here to sort of start journaling straight away. So I don't know if you've noticed, but the standard box is different. So don't know if they've gone ahead and used this all over the new collection. I suspect it might just be for this box, but I'm not totally sure on that. But they are all sealed little journals. So this is actually a sketchbook with blank pages. And then when we open it, it's still lovingly wrapped, just like any journal that you would just go and purchase from them. So it does say on here that it's a dot grid notebook, but actually that is a misprint. It is actually blank pages here. So we've got 144 blank pages, and this has got a spiral design on, which is quite unusual for Archer and Olive. They don't tend to do a spiral design. So if I just get into here, so we've still got a little pen loop here for popping your pen at the side, and these are just blank pages, and it is really a sketchbook, which is something I'm trying to get into a little bit more to think it'll be perfect for me. And then it's just got this little pocket there at the back for you to keep any bits and pieces you might want to in there. It's a lovely kind of textured vegan leather cover on it, and like it's got that lovely gold coil there at the top, and it's got like the matching purple elastic around it too. So this is worth $30. And then next up, we've got these big old books. Now, I don't actually think they sell them in this size at the moment. I think this is a bit of a new thing for them, in that they are like trying it out to see how people like these bigger sizes. So there's quite a few different sizes available in Archer and Olive journals, all of course personal choice. They even do different coloured papers and stuff. So this is the journal I currently use, and this is an A5. So it's a pretty standard size journal. If you look at that compared to the size of this thing, it's quite a bit larger. So both boxes are pretty much identical. I appreciate that one's upside down, but this is going to be a dot grid notebook. So this is your dot grid, and this is, like I said, a super large one. And again, 160 GSM ultra thick paper in all of the books. So I've used all kinds of like markers and pens, and you don't get ghosting and bleeding in them. They're very well made journals. So this is stunning in real life. I love that kind of gold, almost floating boat in the sky, with the little stars and moons and stuff underneath. It's gorgeous. I do actually prefer this kind of leather finish. The book I've been using from Archer and Olive, this is actually a Neapolitan, which means it's got a few different colours, which we'll see when we start doing the stamping and the writing and testing of the pens. But I prefer a vegan leather cover because I just think it stays cleaner a little better, whereas I do find with the linen ones, they can kind of pick up muck a lot easier, particularly on black. So this is just gorgeous. So if we open it up, it's got the usual this book belongs to, blah blah blah, and then it's all dot gridded paper on both sides, super bright white, so everything really kind of stands out. And then it's got this kind of huge pocket at the back that opens out to store all your little secret things. And then again, that's a pen loop. And of course the big elastic as well. So this is really quite large, but I'm excited to try planning on a much bigger space just to kind of see how that works out. And the dot grid version retails at £32 in this size, and it's an 8.5 by 11 inch notebook. So here is the last thing in the box, and it's another of the large notebooks. Again, 8.5 by 11 inches, and it's worth $32, but this one has got a different design and a different inside. So this is actually that kind of linen design again I was talking about, like the one I already have, but this one's actually lined. So these, like I said, are a bit more tricky to kind of keep clean, I find. It already kind of has little bits and pieces, little bits of fluff and stuff on it. So just bear that in mind with a linen notebook. But it is this gorgeous, almost, on camera it almost looks red, it's more kind of pinky in real life with that gold compass on there. But what's different about this is it's lined, which is definitely different for Archer and Olive. They don't tend to do lined, so this would be even something you could use for work or college or school or what have you. And it's again got that big old pocket in the back and the pen loop and a little ribbon. So in terms of bullet journaling, not the most practical. It is a different style. It doesn't lend itself obviously to bullet journaling because it doesn't have the dots in there, but this is a different kind of style of planning, I guess. So something interesting and new to try out either way. So let's try out these stamps and these pens. Okay, stamping. So I have managed to remove all of the brown tape. The easiest way to do this is to put them in like lukewarm water, and then the brown stuff just peels right off and you can get all the sticky stuff off as well. So they are nice and new. You will see on them they've got this grid section. So one side is actually plain, the other side has got the grid on, and that is purposeful so that once you've got your stamp on, you can see exactly where your stamp is. You can also use these lines to sort of line up with different bits of your kind of bullet journal. So like for this smaller one, you can actually see it lines up with a standard kind of box. So you can really use these to get them exactly where you want to get them. So we're going to do some stamping. We're going to try out this ink and all of the stamps, and I'll kind of share some tips on how I would do it as we go along. So we've got our set of stamps and we're just going to start stamping. So they are between two different bits of like plastic, so you can just peel off the back cover, get that out of the way, and then you're going to select whichever one you want. So I will start with this like calendar one, which I think will get a lot of use going forward. So the idea with this is this sort of blank bit, the bit that's been stuck on there, is the bit that's going to go onto your stamping block, and it's going to go on the side that's got the squares and stuff on so that you can get it kind of lined up how you want it. And then the sort of textured bit that's actually got the pattern on is on the side that you're obviously going to then stamp. So we're doing this for the first time on here. I have had some little bits of experience of stamping before, but nothing major. We will see how it goes, and like I said, we will use these stamps. So obviously these stamps are much smaller than the area that we're trying to stamp. I'd usually use a bigger ink pad. So what you can do with these, if it's a small enough stamp, you can just obviously stamp right on, or you can use it to just cover the block in the ink. Should be being a little bit more careful because you don't want any kind of excess ink going anywhere you don't want it to, but this kind of allows you to just apply the ink where you want it to go. I think I'm going to have a little bit of a problem potentially with these little days of the week. I don't think they're going to come across quite how I want them to. They look a bit funny on here. But we'll see, and we can always kind of correct it a little bit with like a white pen if necessary. The other thing you can do is if you don't put too much ink on, or if you blot off some of the ink on another pad or something, you can actually then cover it and colour it in your acrylographs. So I'm just going to be wild stamping, so I'm just going to go in and press it down there and we'll see what we're left with. Oh, actually that came across way better than I thought it was going to do when I looked at it like that. So that's pretty good actually, that looks way better than I expected. So then I would just wipe down the stamps and put them back in their place on the card, keeping the card so that... So I would just wipe them down and then stick them back where they go on here. So obviously the card sort of tells you where to put it. Anyway, let's carry on stamping. I think I'm going to get the big ones out of the way first, and I will switch up the inks a little bit as well as we go along. So this is kind of a habit tracker or something, I guess. Again, you can use these things for whatever you want, can't you? But that's what I'm imagining. I'm quite impressed with the ink though and that stamp and how well that came across, considering it's literally just been taken out of the packet for the first time. Because with stamping you can sometimes obviously need a little bit of practice just to get it quite right. You can guarantee when you've got a big spread you've spent ages on and then you want to just add a bit of a stamp to it, you'll end up with a situation where it won't play ball and it won't come across as well as you think. But there's obviously different ways you can kind of rectify these things. So added a bit of ink, so we can obviously put it around a couple of different ways, but I'm just going to kind of put it over here like that. Pressing it down, making sure you're kind of getting that even pressure over it. Again, pretty impressed. I've either used really shoddy stamps in the past or I'm just having a good day, I don't know. Maybe it is because I've always used like a bigger ink pad rather than using these little ones. Maybe these are better because they give you that bit more control. Interesting. Let's use this. Will this fit on here? So obviously it's going to be like a funny fit, but there we go. This is making me want to go out and get like more ink and just kind of experiment with some different colours. But I do like the idea of just putting like a faint one on, then it can just be, you can just go over it with your acrylographs because they're just stunning, the acrylographs. I absolutely love them. Again, even pressure. That moved about a bit, so it's not perfect, but actually again, considering it's not perfect, it went on quite well. Acrylic Olive have actually brought out some more stamps as part of their spring collection, and I'm kind of wishing I ordered more, but they were quite expensive. They're like $24, but I'll tell you what, if they perform like these, they're probably worth it. So you can see there, that one's obviously not come across quite as well. I'm getting sloppy the further along I go, but part of me thinks I'm going to do some where I don't press on as hard, or I blot it off first, have a really faint outline, and then, like I said, colour it in with those acrylographs. Shall we switch ink and let's see what this gold one looks like? Almost looks like a bronzy kind of colour or something on here, but it is definitely gold. Oh wow, yes it is. So of course with a smaller stamp you can actually do it like this as well. It's got like a kind of spongy feel to it, so you could do it like that. The danger with that is a bit of it ends up like as an outline and stuff as well, which you may or may not want depending on what effect you're going for. But there we go. And I think I'm going to go back to black for these ones. I think personally I prefer to kind of do it like this, applying to the stamp. It just feels like you've got a little bit more control. You can see where the ink's going a lot better than if you're just pressing onto the ink pad. So it kind of allows you to identify any potential mistakes before they happen. Oh, love it. I think these will be even more gorgeous in some different colours, or like I said, maybe even just accented by your acrylographs. I'm just going to add like a few all at once and just see. Might speed up the process a little bit, eh? And now I've got ink on the page from the lid, so be mindful of that, but yeah. And then they just peel off, and like I said, you can just rinse them, wipe them, whatever you want to do. Just make sure you dry them and stuff when you put them away. There actually then go in with like one of the words and maybe the gold stamp and just stick goals in there. And you can see, because it's see-through, you can kind of see where you're going with the word. Not perfect, but you can imagine if you're not just doing it on the hop like I'm doing and you really take your time, you can obviously do a lot more with it. Then you've obviously got things like your days of the week as well, which you can do, and they come in a few different fonts, and there's numbers and there's all kinds of things. So I cannot wait to kind of play around with it all and just get the result that I want in my journal. I think it's going to be a really exciting way of kind of planning, rather than just doing my traditional drawing stuff in, actually going in with stamps. I forgot how much I enjoy them, because they just, I think they're so satisfying, because when you get it right, they print just perfectly and it just looks amazing. So they can be really kind of fun to use. So they are all separate, I've just like put them together to, again, kind of speed it up a little bit. Again, not quite as perfect, but you get the idea. Just see how this does on the craft page. This is just where I've done my kind of pen test for the other acrylographs I got. So that one seems to have shown up slightly differently again. And obviously black will look different on this page as well. In fact, I'll do a quick black stamp as well. So I'm just gonna do a quick bit of black. In fact, I might even try it on the black page just so I can show you how that kind of comes out. So you could even like press on a few different inks or what have you, just to kind of get whatever effect you are after. The sky is the limit on this one. And then if we just put the black on here, obviously it's super faint, but I'll show you in a minute how that looks if we kind of go over with the acrylographs. While that's drying, I will show you these pens on the different coloured pages so you can kind of see how they perform. So they do all have names, they've been given names now. I actually got this from the Facebook group and I've already activated them. So if you've not used an acrylograph pen before, you have to shake them and press down on the nib to release the ink, because it does have a acrylic based ink in there, I believe. So I've already done the activation just to kind of save a little bit of time. So this first one is called Quest. It's a gorgeous pink colour, which, as I thought, stands out quite well on the black. Nice kind of, almost like a hot pink. I like how the names of these pens go along with that theme of voyage as well, so they've really kind of stuck with that when naming the pens, which I like. You can see I've kind of coloured in some other stampy bits around here as well. Then next up we've got Voyager, which is a kind of light peachy colour. Almost looks like a skin tone or a really off-white. In fact, it almost looks white in real life. Peachy white, I think I'm going to call it. But it'd be really good for doing some kind of skin colour sort of effects. Next, Pathfinder, which is this kind of gorgeous greeny colour. Kind of not that dissimilar to maybe moss green or mint green. It's somewhere in that kind of same ballpark. Then we've got Wanderlust, which is this like purpley colour, which I love. These are my favourite kind of colours, a bit of like purpley kind of colour. And this I wouldn't really say is that similar to any others, perhaps a little bit like a darker version of Lilac or something. It's very much a purpley colour but lighter. And then finally we've got Rome, which R-O-A-M, as in that kind of Rome. And this is a gold, which I think will be super popular. And I know the gold has turned up in one of the new spring kits, because it's this kit I ordered. I can't remember what the name of it is now, but stick with the channel if you want to see when I unbox and try out all those pens and look at all the new spring goodies. So these are the pens here from this particular subscription box. Oh, actually that has dried. So with this, I was thinking we could like go over it and make it into like a gold moon or something. And obviously you can do this then with any of the other stamps and any of the other kind of colours you might have, just to kind of make it stand out. So obviously in this particular subscription box we've only got white pages, so bear that in mind. This is, like I said, one of the Neapolitans, which gives you 3 different colours of paper, so you can kind of play around with them all. We will go over and do some bits over here on the craft paper, so just bear that in mind. You're not obviously going to have these colours in your kit, but you may well already have it in your collection, or it may be something that you kind of try out in the future. Let me know actually, if you are already an Archer and Olive fan, which paper do you prefer? I'm still kind of playing around with it. I think in a lot of ways white's the easiest to work with, because pretty much any colour apart from white will show up on it, whereas with the craft and particularly the black paper you have to be careful because some colours just don't really show up as well. But I am enjoying, because I'm still quite new to Archer and Olive, I'm enjoying this Neapolitan book because it allows me to keep switching between. And then I think by the time I finish this book, I'll know for sure like what my favourite paper is. But then I actually kind of think I might prefer to stick with the Neapolitan, because then throughout the month, or however many months you're using it, you're getting the chance to keep switching up your colour, so it kind of keeps it fresh and stuff. So kind of depends what you like. But again, those are those colours there. The acrylographs do dry pretty fast as well. They're all dry now. Those just need another second. Then we're going to flip to the back and I'm going to show you the plain page with the different coloured pens on. So on the white page I've actually already written down the names of the pens. Again, like I said, you can see this really kind of stands out even more when it's on white paper. Everything just does. And this is this gorgeous bright white paper, which is what I like about it. And what I love about these Archer and Olive journals, and I'm still really new to them, but I've never used paper like this, for how kind of robust it is, how nothing goes through the paper. I've never used anything yet that's like bled through or anything. I've really been enjoying it because it's kind of given me the confidence to use whatever sort of medium I want on the paper without fear that it's just going to bleed through and damage the page. So I am obsessed with this brand and their notebooks right now, and their acrylographs. I want them all, and I will warn you, this is the danger. You start off buying like one journal and then it's like I can't stop, but it does really personally kind of helps me relax and do something creative and just almost a bit of mindful. But I'm just so happy with this subscription box. I think they've knocked it out of the park. So there are the colours. So I have to say I am super happy with this box. We've got our tote bag, we've got our stamps, we've got the 2 stamp blocks, we've got the 2 packs of stickers, we have got the 2 little inks, we've got the gorgeous acrylograph pens, 5 of those, and actually these 3 books, which to recap, we've got a lined large journal, we've got a dot grid large journal, and we've got the kind of traveller's notebook / sketch pad with the like ring design at the top. So I do hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up. It lets me know you're enjoying the content I'm producing. Don't forget to use the code Crystal10 and the link under the video if you do want to get a discount on anything from Archer and Olive, apart from the subscription box, which cannot be discounted. And I will be back soon to unbox my new spring collection that I've ordered from Archer and Olive, and I am happy to do like plan with me's and stuff. If you are interested in anything like that, do let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.